Hi, everyone. Welcome to Meet the Mailers. I'm Paul Bobnak for Who's Mailing What, and today we're talking with Nelson Penalver, Executive Director of Sales for PCI. Now, before we get started, keep in mind that you can join our conversation at any time by commenting below. Show your support by tapping the like button, and to get notified when we add new videos to our channel, click on subscribe. Now let's meet today's guest. Welcome, Nelson. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Well, why don't we get started by talking about your background? How did you get involved in direct mail, and what are you tasked with in your role at PCI?
Well, it started 20 years ago. I started a venture on my own in selling promotional products and marketing services. And someone asked me about a mailing. And I ventured that I didn't know what I was. I mean, I know it goes through a post office, but since we were in the printing business, we started being able to adapt to mailers and mailing, and then direct mail, postcards. I want to tell people that I'm in the neighborhood or our new business open. So that's the way we got started, and then started learning from there, from the different, support mechanisms that I had as vendors. And in here, my job is to manage the entire sales force nationwide. And one of the things that I do is to ensure that we grow our business year to year, despite, of course, the pandemic. But we've been able to grow our business and keep our clients in the eyes of their customers by use of print, direct mail, and promotional products.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's continue talking a little bit more about PCI. In the last year, the company has expanded your services and branded as the powerhouse. How does it set your company apart, as well as helping our clients save money on postage with all the things you do?
Yeah, that's the reason of the powerhouse. When you talk to clients, and a lot of our competitors present this as the mailer or the printer, the promotional product guy, the signage guy. We believe that the powerhouse has a array of services that altogether provide savings to customers. When it comes to direct mail and saving postage, we understand from the moment we get the database. First of all, and a perfect example, we just talked to a client who wants to announce that they move one of their medical centers. So she wants to get an English Spanish postcard. What's the best way to do? So we understand from there what the main goal is, what's the best way to reach them, what's the layout of the content of the card, the size, and then what's the database look like, so we understand what automation we're going to use, how we're going to pre-sort it, how we're going to get it to the client, where the location is. So understand the whole business. It's not just you telling us that you need a postcard, we're going to put a postage on it and get it out. We really understand the entire process in order for us to bring savings on postage clients.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about the branding work PCI offers to clients and how that translates to the services that you offer?
That we've seen a trend into clients moving from, buying the printing from this guy and the mailing from another company and then the shirt from this other guy. People are looking for a complete solution. And that's what we offer. We offer a set of array of services under one roof, single point and accountability. And I think that's what translates into savings. If I'm designing, I'm printing, I'm mailing, and even sometimes fulfilling your products, the savings goes across the board of our products and services. We've been growing very fast. Actually, last year and the year before, double digits. And our plan is again to grow double digits this year because of the services. We call it the PCI advantage.
Right.
Is we actually starting to use power up your business with PCI. Why? Because we really power the businesses that we work with.
Right. And the branding is consistent when you have everything under one house compared to
Exactly.
different vendors with different color calibrations, and that's where sometimes the problems can come up.
And not only that, we're G7 certified. So
Okay.
across our entire business, all our equipment is calibrated to give the clients that, consistency in color. And apart from that, if I print and I have to send it to someone else, there's freight involved. If I bring promotional products and send it to someplace else for another vendor to fulfill, you add more freight. So we're trying to understand the entire supply chain in order
Mhm.
for us to be successful and engage with our clients as an extension of their business.
Yeah, I can see how that would be especially important these days with supply chain disruptions of various kinds and trying to keep everything, all your balls, so to speak, in the air at the same time.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Exactly.
The PCI website mentions that the company works with a lot of healthcare and financial services companies. Are there specific direct mail practices that you have found that work for uh, each of these kinds of companies?
We look at and again, as I told you a little while ago, is we look at the entire supply chain. We look at the entire business of the client. We have instances where, and when you deal with major insurance companies, they come with the artwork ready, so there's no designing in there.
Mhm.
But one of the things that we've been able to do very quickly is involve ourselves with the design portion from the get-go. What is the end goal of that insurance company or that healthcare organization or financial institution? What are the best things that you're doing? And sometimes it's paper size, envelope colors, postcard paper. Can we do that in our inkjet digital technology? Can we automate some of those insertions when there's envelopes and different forms? Understand the complexity of the variable data, because that's the other component that is very important. So we as a company have our own developers, we have our own IT team that understands all that, and we have our mailing department that, again, we're going from, oh, give me your postcard, I'll print it, I mail it, goodbye, thank you, pay me.
Right.
We are away from that. We get involved from everything in order for us to give advice to the client, in order for them to save money at the end of the day with that piece. Because, as designers, people come with different colors and PMS, and I want to add this die cut piece. When it translates to postage savings, that can be dangerous. So
Right.
we look at that and we advise clients on all that type of stuff.
Right. So it's a lot about being a consultancy instead of just a jobber, somebody who just takes a job, gets it done, gets it out the door, and then moves on to something else.
Paul, is something very interesting that I when I got hired here, I saw is you talk to our associates,
Hmm.
30 years experience, 18 years in the company, 20 years in the company. Yeah, we have new wins, especially on this problems with labor,
Right.
but we've been able to maintain our employment, been able to keep our associates happy. But one thing that I say, you walk into our press, our shop, and you
Hmm.
could see tons of equipment, latest technology, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't have the human component, the expertise of our team. And that's what makes me proud. I have a subject matter experts. I can go and say, look at this envelope. What do you see? Can we handle it? Can we do it? How are we going to print it? How are we going to let out the ink? Right now, with the scarcity of paper, I mean, do we have enough paper? How can we convert this into something else? We had a problem where there's lack of envelopes, and this guy is a 2.5 million mailer. Guess what? The moment that they got a call from us saying, hey, there's no envelopes, you did this last minute, there's not enough envelopes to fulfill your, especially on the short time that we had, not that we cannot get it, is what's going to take longer. Immediately our team says, why don't we convert that in a self-mailer? And
Hmm.
we converted that piece into a self-mailer. It gets what, it went in 2.5 million pieces, but as a self-mailer. So I think that that's what we add when it comes to dealing with PCI as the powerhouse.
Right. Yeah, that's great. I mean, being able to have that coming up with ideas and alternatives uh, quickly to be able to pivot for the customer is huge.
Yep, definitely, and we like that. It's not like, oh, let's do it because there's a problem.
Hmm.
Sometimes even when they decide what they want, we still tell them, next time here's an idea to save money.
Right.
With the offers and the promotion that the post office has, can we save you that 2% on postage because you
Yeah.
work on some technology in the piece, a QR code. So
Hmm.
so we go one step beyond of your
Hmm.
normal call of duty.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think especially with some of the promotions that USPS has done over the years and is um, already in the works for 2022 is there are, significant savings in postage. And on top of that, like you said, you're also like pushing the envelope, so to speak,
Yeah.
with
One thing that
technology.
is important, yeah, one thing that is important is, postage keeps going up, and the 80+% of the value of a mailing is on the postage.
Hmm.
Let me make you the best use of that postage. I don't want that piece goes to waste. We want to make sure that it gets used. When it comes to designing the envelope, there's that why space. Why just put the address? Why don't you
Right.
just put a call to action, open me immediately, important information? I mean, be creative with
Hmm.
that landscape that you have on an envelope or on
Hmm.
a postcard. Like, for example, we are talking to this client that I mentioned a few minutes ago, is the opportunity to put English and Spanish at the same. Well, the back of the postcard, there's not much landscape that you have, because you have to use the address section. So it's cumbersome. So how our team comes back and puts something fun, something people like, and it's going to call the attention, and people will understand the message.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of those things are huge to being able to reach audiences and thinking
Definitely.
um, in ways you really have to do today, I think.
Yeah.
Um, business can be unpredictable. And what kind of things do you do at PCI to ensure that your clients' data and mail will remain secure in the event of um, some sort of a crisis? There are fires, weather events, things like that.
Well, there's two folds into this. All these beautiful things that we have here couldn't be done if we don't have the right certifications.
Mhm.
For us, compliance and being able to meet the demands of the market, especially in the cybersecurity, is extremely important. High trust, SOC 2. We are HIPAA compliant. We just last year we got PCI DSS, so we can do mailings of the credit cards.
Mhm.
There is a group of major banks that put together an initiative through a company called TrueSight, which is cyber readiness. We just went through it in order for us to deal with two of those major banks and being able to have our systems in place. So we go through audits every year. Right now we're going through audits, and we take data so strict and serious that we have our own systems to maintain that security, and we've been passing with flying colors, thank God.
Good.
And then the other fault is what you mentioned about, we're, for example, we're in the state of Florida,
Yep.
Hurricane Ali. We have one of the best data recovery solutions and business continuity plan for our clients. This building is a category 5 building, so hurricanes are protected. And number two, we have a 3-tier generator system that can allow us to run this place 90 days without a single drop of electricity.
Wow.
Apart from
Yeah.
that, we have a site in New Jersey that we work with as a partner that mimics exactly what we have.
Mhm.
And now we're bringing on board our Texas facility. Our own facility in Texas is a full price store facility right now, which we're adding print and the different technologies, and that will be our disaster recovery solution. Either way, either from Texas to here or here to Texas. So we're building an infrastructure that will give that peace of mind to our clients.
Mhm. Well, related to that issue of resiliency is environmental sustainability. How important is that to PCI, and how important is it to your clients in partnering with them on their direct mail?
Well, one of the things when we talked about sustainability, that's becoming a big word nowadays and will continue to grow. We are triple certified when it comes to green initiatives in terms of printing. So the chain of custody is very important to us. We don't just buy, and especially in this crisis of paper, we cannot just buy paper anywhere. If we're going to put those logos, we need to make sure they're coming from the right source. Then everything that is a waste here goes through recycling.
Wow.
Actually, that's something that we take very seriously. We get, to be honest with you, yes, we get rebates, we get some compensation because of the way we recycle, but nothing goes to waste here. And either way, discard inks and discard. We just bought a company and they had a piece of equipment that is that some gas emissions and stuff like that. We're not just gonna put the equipment. We went through the city, we went through regulations. because we want to keep the environment safe,
Mhm.
our clients happy, and be able to provide that sustainability that is required in our world to continue growing and being the wonderful world that we have.
But speaking also like more in general than that, though, what is it about direct mail that you think um, still works and still has value, besides the fact that you guys can jump into the mail stream very quickly? Um,
You know,
is it um, the tactile quality of paper? Is it something like that?
well, I just saw an statistics the other day that I was doing some reading, and it says that 79% of the millennials and new generations wants to still receive a piece of mail in their hands.
Right.
They are anxious to get home, or if they stay home waiting for the mailman to come in,
Hmm.
open and
Hmm.
put those mails. So that's number one. So we got to continue with that. Number two is, what do we do in order to personalize? Personalization is becoming a big issue.
Yeah.
If you get a letter that says, "Dear customer," yeah, if you get a postcard, "Dear customer," or "Here are the savings for the day." But if I say, "Hey, Paul, how are you? I know that you were in the radio yesterday talking to Nelson." I mean,
Hmm.
what variable data component do we add to make it personal, to make it yours, not mine, not just generic? And we're looking at that. We have a product called OmniPower, which is an omni-channel platform. So utilizing, it says that you require 8 to 12 touches before someone's to make a decision.
Right.
Well, we have a platform called OmniPower, which basically allows us to, that single piece of mail, personalized, be able to be 8 to 12 touches in the cloud, in Google, in Instagram, on Facebook. So we're constantly in our website being able to communicate with clients, and at the end give leads back to clients that are spending on that technology for a fraction. I think that the lowest you can go is like 2 cents per piece.
Hmm.
That's nothing when you
Right.
compare that one single piece of mail, and it has the informed delivery, informed visibility. So it has all the components in order to make that piece very powerful. And we're using that very, very heavily this year,
Hmm.
and hopefully continue using it for the years to come.
Right. So it's operating across all these different channels.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. And that's what people, because believe it or not, one of the things that I saw is, we believed when this whole COVID started, we thought that people will go to technology and will go to the people are sick and tired of the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're constant. I remember, and I'll tell you, there's two funny stories in here. My mom, 85 years old, she
Right.
has that Facebook, and she sees Dr. Internet over
Uh-huh.
and over because she likes to give advice on medicine.
Oh
But
yeah.
then you have the millennials, the Generation X, people like you and me,
Hmm.
that I don't have time for the phone anymore. Yeah, I might see my Facebook, or I might see my LinkedIn, but I don't have time because everybody's bombarding us through the digital channels.
Right.
So how we avoid that, and how do we play that with direct mail? And that's the part that we've been very successful. Our volumes have increased in the amount of direct mail pieces that we're sending out.
Right. Well, from your standpoint now, what trends do you think are going to be unfolding in direct mail over the rest of this year and into 2023?
Well, the fact that personalization will continue to be a big factor, I think that plays a big role. How ready you are. I attended last year to the Inkjet Summit in Texas,
Hmm.
and one of the things, the new inkjet technologies allow us to play real big time with data and variable components. So if the more personalizations you can add to that, plus the um, digital component that goes behind on the omni-channel platform,
Hmm.
those are trends that will continue to play a big role. Some of the things that 3D uh, technology information that you can put in there, tactile type of ways. We're building a postcard for a company that when you open it up, it becomes in a 3D piece.
Mm.
So creating a little more factors for people to have fun with it. I think that's the new trend that we're going to see in 2022 plus 2023.
Oh, awesome. Well, I think that's a great note to end our chat with today. Thanks again for being here. We really appreciate it. And why don't you tell our audience how folks can find out more about everything that PCI does?
Perfect. Thank you. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. This is
You're
this
welcome.
is great when you can talk about all these things, and being able to say all the great things that are going to happen 2022, 2023. Despite this, we're still working with Omicron and COVID and all that type of stuff, but we'll get used to it. But the part that people wants to come to the powerhouse. We say one of the things that we say is take it to the powerhouse. I challenge our audience to take it to our powerhouse by coming to PCIbrands.com. And there you have you can see our service, see the video, our factories, and we welcome you. We want you to give us a try. Take it to the powerhouse, I think, is what we want to say.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, and thank all of you for joining us today. And remember that you can join our conversation at any time by commenting below. Show your support by tapping the like button and click on subscribe to be notified of new videos. If you are interested in being featured in a future Meet the Mailers, I'd love to hear from you. My contact info can be found in the paragraph below by tapping Show More. Thanks again for watching Meet the Mailers, and see you next time.